Chosen one, this message didn't appear in your life by accident. December 26th is not an ordinary day. It is a spiritual checkpoint, and very few people are meant to cross it consciously. While the world moves on, something irreversible activates for you. A quiet shift, a deep knowing, a sense that the old version of your life is closing for good. If you've felt detached lately, if you've noticed people, situations, or emotions losing their grip on you, if your spirit feels calm but alert, as if something is aligning behind the scenes, this is why. On December 26th, the universe releases 5 events designed specifically for chosen ones. Not loud, not chaotic, but permanent. One removes a weight you've carried silently. One gives you clarity without pain. One delivers a miracle disguised as something ordinary. One upgrades your identity. And the final event locks you into a new timeline you cannot return from. Stay until the end, because the last event explains why you won't need signs anymore. You become the sign. If you feel this message in your soul, claim it now. Subscribe, like this video, and comment "Chosen" below. When you declare readiness, the universe responds. The first event begins so quietly that many people almost miss it. There is no moment of announcement, no emotional explosion, no dramatic ending scene. Instead, December 26th brings a subtle internal shift, the kind that happens beneath the surface, where real transformation always begins. On this day, something you have been carrying for far too long finally loosens its grip. It could be emotional, energetic, or mental. It may be something you've normalized so deeply that you stopped recognizing it as a burden, but suddenly, it no longer weighs the same. You may wake up feeling lighter without a clear reason. Your mind feels quieter. Your chest feels less tight. The absence is noticeable, but peaceful. This release does not come from confrontation or closure. No one explains themselves. No apologies arrive. No conversations are forced. The universe does not remove this weight through chaos. It removes it through completion. A thought that once triggered anxiety no longer controls your emotional state. You notice it come and go, but it doesn't hook into you. What once sent your nervous system into overdrive now feels distant, almost irrelevant. This is a powerful sign. It means the lesson tied to that thought has finished integrating. In some cases, the release is connected to a person. Someone who once occupied a large amount of your emotional space may suddenly feel neutral, not loved, not hated, just quiet. Their influence fades without conflict. Their presence no longer stirs longing, resentment, or confusion. And that neutrality is the clearest proof of healing. This is not emotional shutdown. This is not numbness. This is not avoidance. This is release. When emotional contracts expire, they don't always end with fireworks. Often, they dissolve because the soul has outgrown the need for them. December 26th marks the completion of a karmic cycle, especially one connected to emotional overgiving, people-pleasing, self-doubt, or waiting for validation. For a long time, you may have tied your worth to outcomes, responses, or recognition. You may have carried responsibility for things that were never yours to fix. You may have held on to hope far past its expiration date. The universe does not punish this behavior. It honors it by teaching you through experience. And once the lesson is fully learned, the weight is removed gently. That's why this release feels so calm. There is no resistance because there is no attachment left to fight for survival. You are no longer the version of yourself who needed that situation, that dynamic, or that emotional pattern to grow. What once felt necessary now feels unnecessary. This is one of the most profound forms of spiritual progress, when something leaves not because you pushed it away, but because it no longer belongs. You might notice that you don't replay old conversations as much. You don't feel the urge to explain yourself. You don't fantasize about different outcomes. The mental loops soften. The emotional charge dissolves. And in that space, something important happens. You reclaim energy. Energy that was once tied up in worry, longing, or self-questioning becomes available again. You may not yet know where it will go, but you can feel its return. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your body feels calmer. Your reactions slow down. This is the universe restoring balance. What leaves you on December 26th leaves without resistance, not because it wasn't important, but because its purpose has been fulfilled. It helped shape you. It taught you boundaries. It strengthened your awareness. And now, it steps aside. The invisible release is not an ending you mourn. It's an ending you barely notice until you realize how free you feel afterward. This is how true healing begins. The second event of December 26th is less about external happenings and more about a profound internal shift. It is mental, but not in the way logic or reasoning works. This is clarity beyond thinking. Clarity that comes without struggle, without mental effort, without debate. On this day, the truth arrives, and it comes without emotional charge. You won't feel anger, heartbreak, or resentment. You won't wrestle with denial or wish things had been different. Instead, you simply see, and in that seeing, there is peace. You may notice sudden insights arriving like gentle waves, why certain situations never worked out the way you wanted, why delays that frustrated you were actually protective, why some people in your life could never truly accompany you on your path. There is no judgment in this understanding. It isn't colored by emotion. It is just raw, clean truth. This is the universe granting you a spiritual upgrade, the kind of upgrade that comes only when your soul is ready to handle it. When your energy has matured, the universe removes the fog that once clouded your perception. This is not about forcing yourself to see differently. It's about the fog naturally lifting and letting you witness reality as it is. No sugarcoating, no distortion, no longing for what cannot be. As this clarity settles in, something remarkable happens. You stop romanticizing the past. Situations you once wished had been different lose their pull over you. The what-ifs fade because you understand why they never fit into your life story. You stop replaying old conversations in your mind. You stop holding on to grudges that no longer serve you. You stop waiting for apologies that were never meant to come. Instead of chaos, your mind becomes calm. Instead of anxiety, your heart becomes steady. For the first time in a long time, you trust your intuition, your judgments, and the knowledge you've carried quietly within yourself. You no longer second-guess what your inner voice has been telling you for months or even years. This clarity is not loud. It doesn't argue or defend itself. There is no need to justify, debate, or explain. It simply is, and it works quietly, steadily, persistently, shaping your decisions, your perspective, and the way you navigate relationships and opportunities from this moment forward. You may notice the subtle ways this truth begins to affect your life. Decisions that once felt difficult now feel effortless. Choices you used to agonize over seem obvious. People who once triggered frustration or confusion no longer have the same impact on you. Situations that used to feel tangled and complicated begin to reveal a natural order. This is the gift of the December 26th Clarity Download. It aligns your mind with your higher self, your energy with your purpose, and your perspective with the reality you are meant to step into. It prepares you for the next stages of your journey, when your actions will flow more smoothly because they are rooted in truth rather than hope, fear, or desire. The power of this event is that it settles you at a fundamental level. Your mind stops wrestling with the past, your heart stops chasing illusions, and you step into a space of quiet certainty, a rare and precious state where wisdom is simple, natural, and undeniable. This clarity will quietly guide the choices you make in the days, weeks, and months to come. It will keep you aligned with your true path, and it will allow you to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you are seeing things as they truly are, without distortion, without confusion, and without unnecessary suffering. December 26th is not just a day. It is a turning point, a mental reset, a permission from the universe to finally trust what you see and feel without interference. And in that trust lies the freedom to move forward with precision, purpose, and peace. December 26th brings with it a shift that is often misunderstood. Unlike dramatic breakthroughs or sudden, unmistakable signs, this miracle arrives in a form that may seem almost ordinary. It is subtle, quiet, unassuming, and that is exactly why it is so powerful. You might notice it and think, is this really it? Perhaps a situation resolves itself with ease, or a conversation ends peacefully without the tension you anticipated. Maybe a door closes that you weren't ready to see shut, or a delay occurs that initially frustrates you. In the moment, these shifts may feel small, even insignificant, but the universe operates on a different timeline than human expectation. What feels subtle today is often life-altering in the weeks and months that follow. The miracle that appears ordinary is often designed to reroute your entire future. It doesn't arrive with fanfare or spectacle because its purpose is sustainability, not showmanship. This is the universe's way of honoring what is durable over what is flashy. Dramatic shifts can burn brightly and fade quickly. The miracles that last, however, are quiet and stable, almost invisible until you reflect on how far you have come. Consider the way a door closing without chaos can feel anticlimactic. You might have expected arguments, tears, or confrontation, but instead, it happens silently, peacefully, and without resistance. At first, it may seem disappointing, like an opportunity lost. Yet this closing protects you from unnecessary struggle and aligns you with the path you are truly meant to follow. What feels calm in the moment often contains the seeds of a future transformation that is far larger than what you could have imagined. Similarly, a delay that initially feels like frustration may prevent a future loss you can't yet see. A quiet opportunity that seems small and inconsequential today may grow into something life-changing because it is stable, sustainable, and perfectly timed. These are the hidden miracles, subtle, almost imperceptible, yet profoundly impactful. The third event of December 26th teaches a crucial lesson about perception and trust. What feels calm is not boring. What feels stable is not stagnant. What feels simple is not insignificant. In fact, simplicity and steadiness are often the clearest indicators that the universe is aligning circumstances for long-term growth and prosperity. This is a moment for your nervous system to recalibrate. You have been conditioned to associate miracles with excitement, chaos, and immediate gratification. The universe, however, is showing you a different approach. Trust in subtlety. Allow yourself to notice the quiet shifts without needing them to be dramatic. Begin to feel the safety and reassurance in calm change. This trust in peace rewires how you respond to life's events and creates a new baseline for stability and growth. Over time, you will reflect on this day and see the profound ways your life has been redirected. You will recognize that a seemingly small shift was, in reality, a pivotal turning point. What initially felt ordinary will reveal itself as extraordinary because it changed your trajectory in ways that excitement and chaos could not have achieved. The miracle that doesn't look like a miracle teaches patience, discernment, and alignment. It shows that not every blessing arrives with fanfare, and that lasting transformation often begins quietly. On December 26th, the universe is reminding you that true miracles are measured by their longevity, their impact, and their ability to cultivate trust in the natural flow of life. By embracing this subtle miracle, you open yourself to a new rhythm of existence, one where calm, stable, and unassuming events carry as much weight as the most dramatic breakthroughs. You begin to trust the universe in a way that rewires your entire perspective, preparing you for the larger shifts that lie ahead. In essence, this event is a masterclass in spiritual patience. It reminds you that not every blessing must scream for attention. Some are meant to quietly rewrite your future, and December 26th is the day it begins. By December 26th, an internal shift occurs that changes the way you exist in the world. It is subtle, yet undeniable. You no longer feel the urge to justify your choices, defend your actions, or explain your boundaries to anyone. You stop trying to make others get it, and in that release, a new form of power quietly emerges. This is not arrogance, it is not ego, it is alignment. The universe has guided you to a point where your identity no longer depends on external validation. You are no longer seeking approval or reassurance because you recognize your worth as inherent, not conditional. When identity shifts at this level, behavior changes naturally. You don't announce it. You don't feel the need to display it. Instead, people notice the difference. Conversations with others feel different, as if the energy in the room has subtly shifted. Your presence feels heavier, calmer, more grounded. There is a new steadiness about you that wasn't there before. You may notice subtle signs in your daily interactions. People start to speak more carefully around you, aware of the quiet authority you now carry. You react less to provocations or attempts to challenge you. Where you might have once felt compelled to explain, defend, or argue, you now choose silence, not as avoidance, but as power. Silence becomes your statement. It communicates more than words ever could. This shift also rewires how you relate to yourself. You stop overthinking how your actions will be perceived. You no longer exhaust yourself trying to justify decisions that feel right to your soul. The constant mental loops of, will they understand me, or do they approve, begin to fade. Instead, you operate from a place of certainty, knowing that your choices align with your highest good and your truest self. December 26th is the day when this transformation solidifies. The universe elevates those who no longer beg to be understood. It favors the energy of self-respect over the energy of persuasion. By this point, you are not just experimenting with a new way of being, you are fully stepping into it. This is not a temporary phase or a fleeting mood. It is a permanent identity upgrade, a recalibration of your soul's alignment with your life purpose. You may even notice that certain relationships change naturally. Some connections may distance themselves, not out of judgment, but simply because your new energy no longer aligns with old dynamics. Others will gravitate towards you effortlessly, drawn to the authenticity and grounded presence you now radiate. This is a natural reflection of your elevated identity, the universe reorganizing your environment to match the version of yourself that has finally arrived. The power of this event is profound. By no longer explaining yourself, you reclaim energy that was once spent on seeking validation or defending your worth. You gain space for clarity, growth, and intentional action. You begin to operate from a state of inner authority where decisions, boundaries, and actions flow naturally without the friction of doubt or external pressure. On December 26th, your soul steps fully into self-respect, quiet authority, and authentic alignment. This identity shift will ripple through every aspect of your life, from relationships and work to personal growth and spiritual evolution. It marks the moment when you stop performing for others and start living fully in accordance with your own truth. This is not just a transformation. It is a declaration of presence, a permanent upgrade, and a testament to the alignment your soul has been working toward. From this day forward, you no longer explain yourself because you no longer need to, and that alone changes everything. The fifth and final event of December 26th is subtle, almost imperceptible, yet it is profound and irreversible. This is the moment where the universe locks in a new timeline for you, one that changes the trajectory of your life permanently. It does not arrive with fanfare, and it does not promise instant success or overnight transformation. What it does guarantee is that the old path, the version of life you once knew, is no longer accessible. From this point forward, you cannot return to the version of yourself who tolerated less than you deserved, doubted your worth, or waited for permission to pursue your dreams. That self has completed its role, and the universe has aligned your energy for a new reality. The past fades in significance, not because it didn't matter, but because your present frequency has shifted beyond it. You may begin to notice subtle changes immediately. Missed opportunities that once seemed painful or unfair start to lose their grip on your mind. Doors that felt closed now simply didn't belong to your new path. The energy you put into chasing, forcing, or convincing begins to return to you naturally through alignment. You no longer expend unnecessary effort because your actions are now in harmony with the flow of your life. Situations, relationships, and opportunities begin to meet you where you are, rather than where you once were. The universe responds differently to your energy now. What previously required struggle now flows easily. What once drained your spirit now no longer affects you. What once felt uncertain and chaotic now feels guided and purposeful. The invisible currents of life begin to carry you instead of weighing you down. This shift is not luck, coincidence, or random timing. It is earned alignment. Every lesson you absorbed, every boundary you established, every moment you chose growth over comfort has led to this point. The new timeline honors your resilience, your dedication to self-evolution, and your willingness to step into your power. You are no longer operating as someone waiting for life to grant permission. You are operating as someone who has become inherently aligned with the flow of the universe. The most transformative aspect of this event is that you no longer need external validation or constant signs. Where once you may have looked for signals in synchronicities, in people, or in the world around you, now you become the sign. Your presence, your decisions, and your energy are sufficient indicators of the path you are on. You no longer require proof that you are moving in the right direction. Your alignment itself communicates it. This is a powerful awakening. It changes the way you approach relationships, work, creativity, and personal growth. You no longer attract experiences that drain or confuse you. Instead, your frequency draws opportunities, people, and circumstances that reflect the new, elevated version of yourself. Even challenges that appear on the surface are now guided, meant to sharpen your awareness rather than derail your progress. December 26th marks the point of no return because the universe has officially sanctioned a new timeline for your life. The person you were yesterday, hesitant, uncertain, or reactive, no longer exists in the energetic blueprint of your future. You are entering a phase where your actions, thoughts, and energy are synchronized with your highest potential. This lock-in is permanent, subtle, and profound. It is the culmination of spiritual growth, emotional release, and inner clarity. From this moment onward, your life will reflect a new rhythm, a new flow, and a new level of alignment. What once felt like struggle now feels natural. What once required external affirmation now rests within you. And what once seemed impossible now begins to manifest in ways that honor your evolved state. December 26th is the day you step fully into your new timeline. It is the day you become the embodiment of alignment. And from this day forward, the universe moves in harmony with the person you have become. As this message comes to a close, take a moment and notice how you feel right now. Not what you think, but what you feel. A quiet awareness, a sense of calm. Maybe even a subtle certainty you didn't have before you pressed play. That feeling is not imagination, it's recognition. What you've just heard wasn't meant to entertain you. It was meant to activate something you already knew but hadn't fully trusted yet. December 26th is not about sudden miracles or dramatic changes. It's about something far more powerful. Alignment. The release you felt, the clarity that settled in, the calm miracle that arrived without noise, the identity shift where you stopped explaining yourself, and the new timeline that quietly locked into place. All of it points to one truth. You are no longer becoming who you're meant to be. You have become them. From this moment forward, life will respond to you differently, not because you're forcing anything, but because your energy has changed. You won't chase answers the way you used to. You won't fight for validation. You won't beg for signs. Guidance will feel natural. Decisions will feel steady. And peace will begin to replace urgency. There may still be challenges ahead, but they will no longer feel like punishment. They will feel purposeful. Even moments of delay will carry reassurance instead of fear. Even endings will feel clean instead of painful. That's how you know the shift is real. Remember this: the universe does not elevate people who rush or panic. It elevates people who trust the process, even when nothing looks dramatic. You've done that, quietly, consistently, without applause. And now, the reward is clarity, alignment, and a future that unfolds with far less resistance. If at any point after today you start to doubt yourself, come back to this message, not to relive it, but to remember what you recognized within yourself while listening. That inner knowing is your compass now. It won't shout, it won't argue, it will simply guide. If this message resonated with you, let that be your confirmation. You didn't imagine this shift. You didn't miss your moment. You didn't fall behind. You arrived exactly when you were meant to. And from here on, your life doesn't get louder. It gets clearer. Thank you for being here, for listening deeply, and for honoring the version of yourself that is finally ready to move forward.